My brother committed suicide, and my abusive parents disowned me, but I feel so sad about hating my parents for it. Don't miss out on the fun. Hit subscribe button and join our community for more stories like this one. To give a bit of context, my brother was not an abusive person. He was the best brother I could have asked for. I don't blame him for what happened, and I never will. I just wish we could have had a better life. My mother, sometimes stepdad, was neglectful and emotionally/physically abusive. What started as random spankings for no reason progressed into forcing us into severe distress, for saying or doing normal things to controlling and harming us daily. I eventually adapted to this lifestyle and learned to work around it and taught my brother how to avoid conflict, which was always very specific things. I told him not to say no to anything, never to get up for water/food at night unless he sneak with me. He could never talk in a childish voice, joke around too much, or in a way she didn't like. And one of our big rules was no talking about your feelings. He had to tell me, "There's more, it's just a lot." I was catering to my mother, constantly cleaning, helping her get up in the morning, and dressed in getting her needs met. Me and my brother were homeschooled, but my mother didn't teach us, so I taught him and myself. For context, I was 18 months older. I was often in trouble for not teaching and caring for my mother's animals, which I was raising. Children she chose to babysit, and my brother in the right way. Besides the abuse that happened, that was a part of what I considered normal. This was my daily routine. Until I was 15, my brother had turned 14, and 1 month after his birthday decided to take his own life. We were home alone, and was instant. Not to go into too many details, but I had actually never seen anything so terrifying. But I instantly knew my parents weren't going to love me anymore. I failed to stop him. I couldn't do the one thing I was supposed to do that day, protect my brother, who I was watching over. By their reaction after my assumptions were right, even if they didn't say it right away, they did not intend on loving me after that. My life fell apart. My mother wanted to make me suffer and fail in life, so she did everything to make it happen. Started constantly insulting me, forced me to watch a kid that hated me, hit me with sticks, spit on me, and gave her things to say to hurt me. I didn't have time to work, go to school, or have the few friends she didn't cut off. She threw everything I cared about in trash bags and threw it all away, told me all the time she hated me, that was a slut. Besides, I was a virgin, and told me she no longer wanted me. It's been 5 years of living with my parents since then, and I haven't had a real conversation with them in years. I'm moving out in a few months. I just don't want her to be sad. It's eating me alive. I hate her. I just feel so bad for her. I don't know what to do. There's still so much I haven't talked about, because I'd be here typing for hours. This post was mainly for advice and venting. But let me know how, and if you ever did stop loving your parents back. Does it ever get better? Comments.
They were abusive before he went. Are still abusive. They don't get to blame you for what happened to your bro. I hold a grudge against my parents for the abuse they put me and my bro through. Not sure if it gets better, but I ain't forgiving them anytime soon. I am so sorry for your loss and the horrific experiences you had to endure. You are entitled to feel angry and hurt towards your parents for the way they treated you, especially after the loss of your brother. But please know that it's okay to feel conflicted about your emotions. It's not uncommon for victims of abuse to still love their abusers despite everything they've been through. It takes time to process your feelings and heal from the trauma. I'm glad to hear that you're moving out soon, and I hope that helps you find some peace. Your mother's behavior is absolutely disgusting, and she should be held accountable for her actions. Please don't feel guilty for hating her. You have every right to feel the way you do. Moving out and creating distance between yourself and your mother is the best thing you can do for yourself. It may not be easy, but it's important to prioritize your own mental health and well-being. There's no one-size-fits-all answer to your question, but for me, cutting off contact with my abusive parents was the best decision I ever made. You deserve to be treated with love and respect, and your mother failed you miserably. I'm glad to hear that you're moving out soon, and I hope that you're able to find some peace and happiness. It may take time, but things will get better. It's important to remember that you're not responsible for your mother's feelings.
Subscribe and hit the bell button for the best Reddit stories available.